Today is July 5th.
July 6th.
July 7th.
The rundown, Big Cat, the talk of the weekend, the fact that PETA attacked you. That's the most amazing part to me of the whole thing.
Did we nail it or did we nail it, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, that was we pretty much laid out everything you were going to say.
I just looked dumbfounded. That picture that the New York Daily News has is an all-time picture. Me just like stuffed to the gills with hot dogs while I'm just like, what's going on here?
It looked like that guy Crazy Legs or whoever was next to him. It looked like he was swinging.
First of all, he had glitter all over the place. I ate so much glitter yesterday because he was just glittering all over me. And I turned to him before we started and I was like, hey, how many are you trying to eat? And he like looked at me super serious, like, I'm going to go back in time 100 years and eat a single hot dog. And I was like, okay, dude. So the reason why I think he was upset when the protesters came was they like interrupted his Zen moment. He was probably like 25 years back in time at that moment. And like, it's probably getting woken from like a deep dream. So he just reacted. He tried to fight one of the chicks. All you haters out there who took under 11 and a half said I couldn't do it, give it to me. Ha! 12. Pow, pow. Pow. And I got attacked by PETA. Fake blood everywhere. Pow. Fought through it. Chef Curry's ruined. Pow. 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 Pow.
Did he really say the buns were running fast?
He looks right at him and he's like, those buns look real fast today.
Did you have any moments on the bus where you basically were like making fun of these people on the biggest day of their lives?
My presence alone was making fun of them on the biggest day of their life. And he's just sitting there with like two hot dogs, like this old dude, this fucking guy. It's like 80-year-old dude.
I blame Danny Ainge. You don't bring in Tom Brady unless you know that thing's closing because it makes everybody look bad. So
that's a loss on his record now.
Mm-hmm. It's like going from a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10.
Who the fuck cares about Oklahoma City? You can realize that the players don't care about you as much as you care about them and still love sports. It's called not being like a 12-year-old. I mean, you grow up and you're like, hey, guess what? This player doesn't really give a fuck about me. It sucks, but I still love my teams.
Foul ball guy is like all over the news. There's a petition now going around to get foul ball guy banned from all major league games.
People just don't like him. Like, he's weird.
The biggest fucking loser of this whole thing, though, is Marlins Man. Marlins Man pretended, like halfway through the game when he saw the internet jumping on Zach Campbell, he wrote a whole post saying, oh, I wanted to go badly, but I knew to respect veterans and people. Fuck you, Marlins Man. If you fucking could have been sitting front row of that game, you would have been fucking sitting front row of that game with your goofy-ass Marlins hat looking like an asshole like you are at every fucking game in the world. You make it all about yourself, and then you pretend that you wanted to respect the troops this one time. No. Fuck you, dude. I have little birdies. I have little sources everywhere. I heard Marlin Man wanted a fucking ticket so badly, he couldn't get that front row ticket. That's why he wasn't at the game. That fucking loser from Deadspin wrote a whole blog, too. It was like, you're robbing all these people's precious moments of catching balls. Shut up, dude. Zach Campbell gives me way more moments than a fucking foul ball.
The petition said, let's restore the integrity of the fan experience. What the fuck are you talking about?
I almost wish he turned more to the dark side.
The problem is I think someone actually would kill him.
This is kind of a cool little story. Sierra thinks Future's going to murder Russell Wilson. I think rappers, as a rule, like to murder people. I'd love to see it happen. I really would. Like, I think it would be an unbelievable story. Pro or con, would you like to see the murder happen?
Oh, I'm all in on that. I don't care if he's dead. Yeah.
You could just be like, hey, Russell, like, go catch and, like, throw a ball into oncoming traffic.
Pick up basketball. Full Jordan get up.
He got the full Jordan fit on, bro.
Yeah, Michael Jordan on the motherfucking court. Look at this shit. Let's go, MJ. What's up?
I guess he also showed up in full warm-ups, Bulls warm-ups.
That, you know, like he wasn't like in shape. He was just like this fat dude in a Jordan outfit.
Tongue out like wagon, just missing shots. Oh, man, that's good stuff.
How's Nantucket?
McShay was here. He's the worst lawn game guy in the history of lawn games. He's like 0-50 in games.
King of the beach.
Your boy Russell Wilson, he is finally married on a fucking Wednesday like a complete poor person loser.
If you're close enough to Russell Wilson and Ciara, though, this isn't the moment where you're like, I've had enough of these two fuckers. Russell Wilson is like, you know, on when Brazzers does the pornos and like the guy's wife will get fucked and he'll be like in the same room and he's like, I'm so oblivious. That's Russell Wilson.
This is a World Series Game 7, Super Bowl, 2 minutes to go. All that combined is Russell Wilson trying to lay the pipe tonight.
He's on the Super Bowl. He's on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl tonight.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
Up until this point, up until today, up until like moments ago, his dick has been Schrodinger's cat. Where it's like, in Ciara's mind, maybe it's a great dick. Like, there's still that hope out there that, like, maybe I'm going to get there tonight and Russell Wilson is going to put it down on me. Tonight, she finally has to accept the reality that Russell Wilson does not have a good dick game. Right? If you're saying to run the ball and just let her get on top, that's going to take 2 fucking seconds. There's no way he comes out the winner tonight.
I hope he makes her come a couple times. Yeah. How about that?
I don't give a shit about this stuff. But I do give a shit when you make Iron Man a black woman. Spider-Man's a fucking gay Mexican dude, and we're all like, God damn it, what's wrong with our America?
She's really hot, and she's a 15-year-old girl.
She made up a story that she spent a gap year in Africa helping out the fucking kids with malaria and starving and no water and blood diamonds, all that shit that goes on in Africa.
I love this story just because of how white she is.
If someone said to me, like, you made up your story about Africa, I'd be like, I don't fucking care. Dan, you got to wonder if him waddling around on his stumps played a factor here. So he really would have to be stumpy in prison. You know, I hate to side with a murderer here, but you're just basically throwing that guy to the wolves if you're going to let him be in the clink with his stumps. Yeah. Africa, like, come on, get your shit together. No one's ever going to take Africa seriously if this kind of stuff's going on. 1 year in prison for murder. Give me a fucking break, Africa. Denard Robinson, your boy Shoelace, asleep in a Chevy Impala that was sinking in a goddamn pond.
Why aren't we asking what kind of cool-ass drug he was doing? Like, I want that. Those guys were fucking high on something, and I want that shit.
Fights, you really are the fucking champion of sleep, though. I mean, you could easily fall asleep in a sinking car. That's, like, not a far stretch for you at all.
No, I absolutely 1,000% could, and I'd just be like, and I would have the same reaction too. I'd be like, dude, no, like, no, you're dying, you're gonna drown. I'd be like, fuck it, I lived long enough. This hangover's gonna suck anyway. Like, let's just take it out. Yeah, had a real America bender this weekend because it started Thursday night at that Mike and Dave party, and that kind of just whipped. Next thing I knew, it was Monday.
Tico, not a fan of Barstool Big Cat.
Oh, really?
And she right away was like, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck Big Cat.
Now that I think about it, I've probably said some pretty mean things about her. I would pick rebuilding to be my number one option for like how I wish this offseason went. But if you can't rebuild, you might as well be like a circus and a little entertaining.
The spin zone.
I guess just make it a fucking shit show. Like Iowa State hoops, who cares? You know what I mean? You get to maybe a Sweet 16 and Elite 8. You're the fucking man. He comes to Chicago. He's obviously getting a nice paycheck. But holy fuck, this guy is going to be ruined by this team.
He had the most perfect tweet ever, where it was just like, shit. This is going to fucking suck for the rest of the night.
Holy shit. 69 in a year is borderline impossible.
We did technically get younger. Mike Dunleavy's 36. Dwayne Wade's 34. That's fucking younger, dude.
They hate each other already. It looks like they're on the way to a funeral. They're on the way to the funeral of their marriage. Oh, God, I had whiskey dick. Couldn't get it up. That was a shitty performance.
Oh, LeBron. But he doesn't use his cell phone off the boat if there's no Wi-Fi?
If there's no Wi-Fi, he does not mess with data roaming.
I have AT&T, so I do.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're poor, so.
If I were that rich, I'd be throwing money around. I wouldn't be rich for very long. Let's just say that.
Given the circumstances, it's the most tone-deaf post I've ever seen from a chick. Yeah, if you told me that she OD'd and died, I would have believed that.
No one talks about Misha Barton anymore. Let's talk about Misha Barton.
Misha Barton's memoir would be one chapter, and it would just be about kissing Olivia Wilde. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything else.
I feel like you could end up.
I actually kept it tight. I kept it pretty tight at your wedding because Dave he sucks the fun out of things. But
I think if you get fucked up at a normal wedding, it's no big deal. When you end up locked in a museum, I think you went a little too far.
I went to a wedding last summer that was at a glass sculpture factory. That was the scariest thing I've ever done.
That's it for the rundown. We got any after show material?
Man, July sucks for these